There's a myth out there that in order to be successful in your business, you need to be constantly engaged with your followers and customers online. You must respond to every email within 24 hours, or better yet, same day. You got to take every single call, meeting, or opportunity that comes your way. I'm sure you can do that if you want, but it's not going to lead to any real success, at least not in the true sense of the word. You might be everywhere, but you'll just be a shadow of yourself. Elton Trueblood, the late author and chaplain at both Harvard and Stanford Universities, put it best. A person who's always available is not worth enough when they are available. Hashtag boom, Elton. If you want to be worth something to your customers, clients, or just the world at large, then you can't be available 24/7. To truly make an impact and become what some would call a high performer, then you must learn how to set boundaries and limits on your time and your availability. But what I thought I would do for you in today's video is give you 5 suggestions of how you can set strategic boundaries and limits on your time and availability that will actually lead to more effective and more fruitful work and help you serve the people you're trying to serve better. If you want to be a high performer, if you want to be a massive impact person at any level, you need to set boundaries. And here are 5 simple ways you can do it. Number one, turn off all notifications on your phone. Please, there are people today, maybe you're one of them, and if you are, I'm calling you out, who still allow push notifications on your phone. This is of the devil, okay? There's nothing good about a push notification on your phone. You do not need to know the moment someone liked something you posted on Instagram. You do not need to know the moment a news story breaks or when LeBron scores another 50 points. You don't need that pushed to your phone, okay? It's a strange concept that we have assumed is normal. But prior to the iPhone, this wasn't a normal thing. I mean, actually, it was with Crackberries back in the day with email. But now, with all the apps that we have, anytime anything happens in the world, it shows up on our phone. And this is an instant distraction. You cannot be a high performer if you're distracted every 5 seconds, every minute, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, even. It breaks the focus, it breaks the moment. It's awful for your relationships, by the way, when you're talking to someone and you keep getting pinged with pointless stuff. Pointless stuff. Somebody liked your Insta story? Who cares? I don't care if you like Insta stories, that's not the problem. But do you need to know that right there while you're engaging with a client or talking to your spouse or building your next product? The answer is no. So, if you want to be a high performer, turn off every single push notification. The only notifications that should come through on your phone are a phone call. Hey, it's called a phone. What a concept. Or a text. Real people trying to get a hold of you are the only notifications that are acceptable. Related to phone calls and texts, boundary number 2 is this: don't answer the phone or respond to a text while you're working, unless your mom is dying, which she's probably not today. You don't need to answer the phone or respond to a text in the middle of work. If you work for yourself, if you are a business owner, you have to build up the discipline to be a good employee. Okay. When you were an employee of a company, if you were, wherever you were, if you worked at McDonald's, if you worked at the mall like I did, or a bagel shop like I did, or I worked in corporate America, you can't just answer the phone or respond to a text whenever you want. You might be able to if your boss isn't looking, but you shouldn't. If you're on the clock, you should be working. Take your phone calls on a lunch break. Answer your texts after work on a lunch break. You're getting paid to sit in the desk, or you're getting paid to work the counter, or you're getting paid to be on the store floor. Don't be on your phone. Your boss would come down on you hard if he or she is a good boss who wants the business to be profitable. So if you work for yourself, you have to be a good employee to yourself. Don't answer a call when it comes in. You're not available. You're working. It's tempting, I know, because when somebody calls you, you feel important. Somebody texts you, you wonder what it is. You could be missing something important. And take this from a guy who doesn't get a lot of phone calls and texts. When I do get a phone call or text, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody reached out to me. It's kind of a big deal and kind of a joke in my house because my wife's phone blows up all the time because she has way more friends than I do. and she's a cooler person than I am. So she's getting text all day long. She's getting phone calls all day long, voice messages all day long from ladies that want to dive into her life, who want her help and advice. And she's just got fun conversations going. It's like crickets over here in Graham's land. Okay. I'm just like in my little room, just making a video for you, and no one's calling. Let me check my phone. No, nothing. My point is that I get the temptation to want to answer the phone or check the text when it comes, but don't. Don't. It's breaking your concentration. It's just another push notification. It's okay that you get calls and texts. The point, though, is to respond to them at a predetermined time, which should be your breaks. Okay. You should take breaks if you want to be a high performer. Again, that's like a sneaky boundary that I didn't even want to mention in this video. Take breaks every hour for at least 5 minutes. Have a lunch break. If you don't have a lunch break, you're insane and you're just going to kill yourself and you're not treating yourself with respect. So have a lunch break. Have some 5 minute breaks every hour where you step out, you stretch, you see the daytime and the sunshine if you're like me in a dark room. So, in those breaks, respond to a text. In those breaks, call your mom back. Okay. But not while you're working. Boundary number 3 is check email only once per day. I know what I just said is blasphemy because email for us isn't something you check. It's a tab on your Google Chrome browser that's always open and full of emails. It's also like your to-do list, right? Whatever comes in your inbox, you get it in the morning, you open it, you see a bunch of emails like, oh, that's what I got to do today because these people want me to do these things. And then you just do those things. You're like a slave to whatever pops in your inbox. So if that slave master is Banana Republic, you're like, oh, I guess I got to buy some new pants because they're on sale. Or it's a client that's like, hey, I really need this thing. You're like, well, I guess I got to do it. That's an awful, awful way to live. It's not strategic. You're never going to be a high performer. You're never going to get anything done if your inbox is open, period. The point of email is correspondence, to send a message, receive a message, work together with someone remotely, take care of things, have a conversation, document ongoing ideas and brainstorming. It's a great tool where, especially in Gmail, where you can see the ongoing conversation and all the emails next to each other. Very, very helpful tool. It's not supposed to be a live ongoing tool. The best thing you could do for yourself and your productivity is to reduce your email to one time a day. And I recommend you do that in the middle of the day, either on your lunch break or right before you leave work in the afternoon. Okay. Never, ever, ever check email first thing in the morning. I talked about this on my upside down workday video. So go watch that. Never check email first thing in the morning. Always check it after you've accomplished your most important task of the day. If you need to check email twice a day, lunch and 4 p.m. is fine, but really you only need to do it once a day. And here's why. When you batch tasks, you go faster. And that's all we're doing here is batching. Also, if you have email open all day long or you check it 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, you're inviting more distractions, more things to pull you away. If you just save them all to the end of the day, you can take care of them at once. You can respond to everybody, and then it sends them a reply, and then you leave for the day. They can deal with it. They can respond to it either that afternoon or in the morning when they're in the inbox like a fool, and they can send it back to you. And then you can address it in the afternoon. Yes, this will frustrate some people. It will frustrate some clients and customers. But guess what? If you want to serve them well, you need to set boundaries. And so you're just going to have to retrain your clients and customers that this is what they can expect of you. And guess what? They will learn to accept that. In fact, they will respect you for it because you're saying, look, I would love to respond to you right away, but I can't. I check email once a day. I'm in the middle of just really trying to create some amazing content for you or serve my customers or clients. I promise I will get back with you soon. But right now, I've got to do some important work so I can do the things that you need me to do. They'll learn, they'll respect you. If you can do this one thing, your life will change. But it's hard because we're addicted to email and we're looking for it to tell us what to do. It's upside down. You tell people what to do when you need something. You do what you got to do on your own. You should have the self discipline to be able to do that without an inbox telling you. Boundary suggestion number 4, have strict work hours and then respect them. I'm always blown away by the amount of business owners that don't know when their work hours are. I ask them point blank, hey, when are your work hours? Well, the moment they say that, well, I know they don't have any, okay? Because they're trying to think and they realize they kind of just work whenever they need to work. Don't live like that. Don't live like that. That doesn't actually give you freedom. I think a lot of people think, oh, it's going to be awesome working for myself because I can work whenever I want. Yeah, you can work whenever you want, but you shouldn't want to work whenever or all the time because that's what whatever you want becomes is all the time. The laptop's always open, email's always open. You might break for dinner with your family, but you crack it back open a little bit later in the evening while you're on the couch with your spouse and the TV's on, but you're really working. Don't do that. It's at best not getting you any more sales or customers. It's not really pushing your business forward because it's not good work. It really isn't going to push the ball down the field at best. And at worst, it's going to harm your relationships. It's going to kill your health. So the key here is to actually say, okay, these are my work hours. This is for you full time business owners. These are my work hours. This is the same for part time too, but you already know you have limited time. Set those work hours. If it's 9 to 5, set it. If it's 8 to 2, set it. Whenever it is, set it. Make a calendar, make a schedule, and then commit to being responsible to showing up during those hours. So don't sleep in, and then leaving when it's time to leave. There will always be more work to do. It's never done. You got to get over yourself. It's never done. You're not going to finish it. So learn to just close the laptop, shut it down, and come back to fight another day. That might mean you don't get that project out when you want it to get out. That might mean you're not as fast as other people, but you'll be better. It'll be more quality. And guess what? You'll have a better quality of life. So important to have strict boundaries of your time. I've shared here before, I work 9 to 2, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2, Monday through Thursday, on two businesses. Okay. So there's strict boundaries throughout the week. I don't work Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. Okay. And there's strict boundaries on the day. I don't work past 2:30. Either I'm picking up my kids from school on a couple of those days a week, or I'm going for a bike ride, or if I need to go run some errands, I'll go do that. So it gives me a hard stop. Now, if there's a season where there's like a launch happening on a certain week, or I really need a few more hours, I can make a contract with myself that, hey, this week I need to work a few more hours because there's something big happening here. That's fine if you commit to it and plan for it and respect it. But on the whole, I have a 9 to 2 philosophy because I'm really fresh in the morning. I want to get after it the first thing in the morning. After lunch, I've only got a little bit of energy left. After two, I'm not really worth much anyway. So I like, again, Parkinson's law. Go watch that video. I like having a tighter, shorter window. It forces me to do better work and be more effective. But I have to be unavailable to other people during those hours to be effective. Fifth and final boundary you can set is one on your time. And this is a little bit different. I want you to under promise and over deliver when it comes to projects and deadlines and client deliverables. What do I mean by this? I mean, the temptation is when you get a client or a customer that they ask you to do something is you want to promise them the moon. You want them to like you because that's the insecurity underneath a lot of what drives us is we just want people to like us. So especially with clients, because now it's not only do we want another person to like us, but now we want them to like us because we want their money. So there's two powerful insecurities there driving that need for them to like us. And so what that causes us to do is overpromise all the time. What this looks like is let's say when I'm mixing bands, right? And I used to do a ton of freelance mixing for bands and recording the bands. The band delivers me a song and they want to know when I'll be finished with the song so they can share it with their fans. And so I would always overpromise, oh, I'll have this mix for you within 48 hours. Give me 2 days, I'll have it to you. And they're like, oh, great. That's awesome. They're really excited. The problem is let's say it took too long or life got in the way and then I'm delivering it in 3 days, not two, 72 hours, not 48 hours. Now I've let them down. Or I do get it done, but I've set myself up for failure because now I have to deliver it in 2 days, which puts a lot of stress on my time when maybe that's not enough time for me because of the other things I've committed to. A better way to approach this kind of project or timeline or proposal or promise is to under promise and then over deliver or just meet that promise. Okay. If I got that same client to mix and I said, look, I'll get this song to you in a week. Okay. All right. I guess it's going to take them a week. They might be a little bummed if they were expecting a faster turnaround, but guess what? They'll be fine. Give them a week. That's what they're expecting. If I deliver it in 5 days, they're overjoyed because I've over delivered now. And it's all by creating a different expectation for the relationship and when something should be completed. And you are in full control of that, but this takes discipline. It takes discipline to say, look, it's probably going to take me this amount of time, so I should probably leave some margin and buffer because guess what? Life is messy and it never goes the way I want it to go. So let me give myself more time and then maybe a little bit more time, and then I'll promise that, and then I'll try to over deliver and get it to them a little bit sooner. At worst, I get it to them when I promised, and they're very happy. This will save you a ton of stress. It allows you to stay focused. It gives you more time to do the stuff you need to do. if you continue to overpromise, which so many people do, I see this in the graphic design world, I see this in the website world, I see this in the video editing world, I see this all the time where people overpromise, I can get that done for you right away, right away, right away, right away, because they want to look like they're accessible and a good servant and they'll do whatever you need to do, but they never can deliver because they're saying that to everybody. They're saying that to not just you, but everybody. And so they're overworked, they're stressed, and there's no way they can accomplish all of it. The only way they could is if they stay up all night, but guess what? They're not going to do good work. So be different. Under promise, say it'll take longer than it will, surprise them, delight them, then over deliver. Remember what Elton Trueblood said, a person who is always available is not worth much when they are available. Limit your availability, and you will be worth more to people when you are available. Now, let me ask you a question. Leave a comment below and answer which one of these five suggestions resonates with you the most. Which one of these five are you actually going to take action on today, this week? I want to know. You hopefully will do all five, but what's the one that you're like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to set that boundary and that limit and I'm going to run with it. Because if you just do one, it'll be game changing for your life. So leave a comment. Let me know which one of those boundaries you're going to implement. And I beg you, I implore you, do it. Your business will be better for it. Your life will be better for it. Leave a comment, like and subscribe to the channel if it means something to you and you're getting value out of these videos. It means a lot to me. Appreciate the support as always. And my friend, I will see you on another video real soon.